Okay, middle of October, and I don't know if you guys are like me, but you're kind of feeling like, that's how it is this time of year. And so just expect it, know it, embrace it, and know that you just have to keep going. Okay. You guys promise me that. Like, just don't give up because it's part of the nature of the game. And know that December is coming really fast. Even November, quarter force is going to blow it up and a couple other things. So first and foremost, I wanted to share my screen and talk about team spirit because I think you guys are probably like, what the heck are you talking about, Danielle? Can you guys see this?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I wanted to break it down. I don't really know how to make this bigger. I never use PowerPoint. I wanted to break it down and explain to you guys exactly what we're going to be doing for November so that you can kind of get your mindset on now to prepare for it. It was very confusing to me and I didn't really know what it was, so that's why I'm not talking about it until right now. So basically, the cool thing with this is that it's kind of like if you guys have done Team Cup or Fall Classic before, but there is no limit on the amount of people that are going to be in the team. So we are going to kind of create Team Cup, but with like a lot of people. Claire's team's going to do it. Her Success Partners team's going to do it. Noelle's team's going to do it. We're all going to be a big team together. So I am super pumped about this. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be exactly what you guys need and to fire us up to finish the year strong. So the cool thing with Team Spirit is you get a quarter force tank top or t-shirt for hitting Success Club next month. They haven't done those in like probably 24 months since before you guys even existed on my team. So I don't know about you, but I love a good tank top. They also are going to do a quarter force hoodie for the top 20 challenge pack sellers. So put that on your list now. And there's a couple different categories we can shoot for. So we have to have at least 20 people to create a team, but there's no maximum amount of people. So this is the time to get your coaches involved. Like, let's get them. I think we're going to do another Facebook group just because I feel like only the people that are doing it and actively participating should be in that group. Kind of like how Team Cup was. I feel like that was really beneficial for you guys. So there's a Team Spirit champion, so Team Spirit points, and I think that that's based on a hashtag, which is not on here. But if you guys have any ideas on how to create spirit and excitement, things like that, like a theme week or flash challenges or I don't know, anything. I'm all ears. This is a team thing. This is not a Danielle thing. And I really want you guys to be excited and just as much into it as me. Of course, there's highest total success club points, which is why we want as many coaches engaged as possible. Highest average, so as many per person as we can get. Most coaches, which is going to be hard to compete with like the Lindsay Matways, but you never know. And then the most spirited. So that kind of goes along with, I guess Team Spirit Champion is the top team. Sorry. Most Spirit is what I was talking about the first time. So I want you guys to have input on what you want to do for this. I don't want it to be Danielle saying, this is what we're doing for Team Spirit. I want you guys to set the tone and say, this is what I need. And this is what my coaches need. And this is how I want to rock quarter force, launch, rock my Success Club, rock just the end of the year going strong, okay? So I'm going to post these slides that goes a little bit more in depth into what Team Spirit is. And I want you guys to get your creative caps on, whatever you want to call it, and get thinking about this because I think that it's exactly what we need because like I said, I can feel the right now. All right, so that's that. Number 2, coach sneak peek on Wednesday. I'm still looking for a few volunteers to speak to that. So if you guys are available, please volunteer and invite your people. Like go on that event page and invite the actual people you think would be great coaches on there and then send them a personal message on top of that and say, hey, I invited you to this event. I don't know if you saw it, but I'd love for you to hop on and listen in. And if they can't hop on Wednesday night, say, can you listen on Thursday or Friday to the live videos and can we connect this weekend to talk about it? Just get them on that page, okay? Number 3, I got 6 things. Sorry, I'll go fast. Halloween Detox is going to be on November 5th. I threw the date out there in our wellness community. So get people on 3-Day Refresh now. Get your inactives back on with buying 3-Day Refresh now. And honestly, those are the only challenge packs I've sold all month. So hype it up. if you haven't done it, talk about the excitement you have for it and do it every day, guys. Like if you're posting 2 to 3 times a day, one of your posts should be about the 3-day refresh. Make it creative. Did anybody see Shannon's abs today? Because those things are popping out, just saying. Okay. Number 4, Core to Force. They're doing $1,000 a day giveaway in November. Any of you are eligible for this, and any of your challengers are eligible for this. All you have to do is hashtag Core to Force and hashtag contest on Instagram or Twitter. So great, another little incentive to say, hey, you can win $1,000 if you post your video. I thought that was pretty cool. Last 2 things. They are just changed the 22-minute hardcore challenge pack and the Beachbody On-Demand challenge pack now come with the containers for 21 Day Fix containers, which I know some of my challengers were super disappointed they didn't get those. So great extra little thing to remember. And then lastly, I wanted to throw down a challenge because I got challenged to do this in my top 25 call. So I wanted to throw it out there to you guys, and you're going to be part of it too. You ready for it? Anybody that helps 4 people with a challenge pack between this Monday and next Monday is getting a Beachbody t-shirt from my corporate mentor. So if all 7 of you do it, then we all get t-shirts. Anything you want. Anything's on the table. So extra little hustle to get out there, hit Success Club, help people change a life, go above and beyond, even when you're feeling like you're not getting anywhere, just keep going. And I promise you, you will find 4 people to help. Okay? Enough of me. Sorry, I took 10 minutes of your time, Shannon. But I wanted to kind of introduce Shannon and give you guys a little bit of a background of how we connected. So Shannon is a friend of a friend. She was somebody that I don't remember whose page I went to, but somebody's page I went to, and I looked at their suggested friends, and we had a bunch of mutual friends. I friended her. I messaged her. She gave me back and forth talk, just normal dating talk that we talk about forming. I invited her, I think a couple of times. I didn't go back and look at our conversation, but she told me no a few times, and I didn't give up. And so I want to throw that in there because I know that you guys are feeling no's, you're hearing no's. It's just a part of this business. You have to accept it. No's mean not right now, and you guys hear that all the time. But if you're getting enough no's, that means you're inviting enough. So pat yourself on the back if you've gotten 5 no's today. That is bomb. That means you sent a crazy amount of invites the past week. So she is proof that when you don't give up on somebody, you never know who is going to come in and kill it. So Shannon's first month, she only hit Success Club 2, and she missed Success Starters. And I know it kind of bummed her out, but she was freaking consistent. She took that power hour and did it every damn day. And I know she did because she showed me the numbers. And then she hit Success Club 8 her second month, and she hit Diamond in 30 days from there. So guys, if she can do it, you can freaking do it. And I know that she's going to share probably things that you've already heard, but maybe from her perspective, it might hit you further. And she's proof that, on a busy schedule, in a hurricane, in crazy hours, you can make this business work. If she can do it, all of you can. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to go back to sipping my wine and let Shannon take it over.
Can you hear me? Perfect. Thanks, Danielle. I was thinking about the dance that me and Danielle did for months because it was kind of that. I totally forced her into actually inviting. I kind of almost remember it. I don't know what this girl really wants, but I'm not going to make this easy. So definitely, don't be afraid to do the ask, because for me that's definitely what it took. It took the official ask. So I always try and remember that when I think about when I talk to people, because Danielle is always the first to remind me, you attract and I'm sure we'll have a lot of difficult people like myself, but I kind of just brainstormed for this call and tried to think about what not only I feel like helped me get to where I am right now, but the big shifts that I kind of noticed as I progressed through my business. So it's kind of looking back, and I did my first challenge group with Danielle at the end of June, and then did my coming out post in the beginning of July, and that Emerald I didn't hit till August 22nd. So, and when I hit that Emerald, it was my mom and York. So it was this huge like mental milestone for me, but I think there was a little part of me in the back of my mind that was still like, but these are people that I've talked into doing this because I've like finally gotten up like the courage to tell them how important this is, you know? So some of the things that kind of shifted for me, because I was consistently putting in that power hour, but I definitely, when I look back, realized that I wasn't getting as much out of it as I've started to in the last few weeks. So I just wanted to kind of, from what I think I remember a lot of this is kind of what I came up with. So the first one for me was drinking the Kool-Aid. So I think that when I first started out with this process, I was still in my challenge group at the time and was still kind of just starting to see my results. And I remember being super comfortable talking to strangers, but I was so uncomfortable asking the people that were closest to me. And when I finally shifted and started like expressing to like my friends and my family, like that this was something I was all in for and that I was committed to, I really started to see momentum. And I think that was because truly in my heart, I hadn't drank the Kool-Aid those first few weeks. I wasn't totally believing in the process. I was enjoying it. And then as I kind of built my confidence in my results, I really started to kind of commit and not just dip my toe in the water. So I think that for me as a lesson was, it's so important, and we've all heard it, but you have to be that product of the product, not just so that you can share your results with other people, but because it helps that little voice in the back of your head that's like, you know, for me, it wasn't just like, I'm trying to sell this person. It's like, I really do have a gift to give because I'm genuinely sharing what has changed my life. And until I completely believe that, no one else is going to really fully believe that. You know, that really has to come through. And so for me, that was a big shift. And I noticed that I was so much more comfortable talking to people that were close to me, because when it was some random person I had friend requested and didn't know, I thought, you know, whatever, if they say no or if they hate this, like I'll never have to see or talk to them again. But, you know, really kind of drinking the Kool-Aid and committing, it shows, I feel like, and I can almost see it in my posts a little bit too when I was trying to look back in terms of what I was sharing and the confidence in that I was putting out when I was sharing it. So that was one of the things that I saw a big shift with, I feel like. And the other one was quality over quantity. And Danielle shared a video with Chelsea Pearson the other day that just spoke to me so much, because this was another big shift for me. Kind of along the lines of, at first I was just like friend requesting all these people and forming anybody, and I would just remember sitting there looking at their page for like 15 minutes like, well, I guess I'll just ask them how their weather is, because I had nothing in common with them. And I think when I started to shift to like really think about like, who would I want to like actually have a cup of coffee with? Who would I want to actually be on my team as I build my business? Who do I think, you know, would really, I have something in common with, and I'm not just reaching out because they're a number on my Facebook. And when I started to do that, I noticed that my efficiency got a lot better in my power hour, and I was enjoying the conversations I was having. It wasn't like painfully sitting in front of my computer, like trying to think of the words, because the conversation started to come more naturally because we were actually talking about things we had in common. And kind of on that note, you know, also I feel like I was tempted in the beginning to be like, oh, you have a cat? I love cats. And I'm sorry for people who have cats, but I don't like cats. Like, I'm a dog person. So, you know, I think being authentic and like, I would, you know, like find something I truly genuinely cared about or wanted to say to that person. Like, hey, I have a dog. I love dogs. Like, you love dogs. Like, I wasn't just making up things or kind of really like pulling teeth to try and have a conversation with that other person on the other end. And I did kind of see a big shift in my response rate when I did that. But I also got over a lot of my fears with forming. And now it's like one of my favorite things to do. I just need to find that my little secret sauce for inviting with that now, because that's my next challenge. But that for me was, really changed the game for me with forming, because it really just felt like getting on the phone with a friend. And how would I talk with a friend? The other thing was being really focused and present in those conversations. I think I struggled with this when I first started out, because I'll talk a little bit about time management at the end, but I do a lot of my power hour in snippets. It's rare that I have, unless I have a day off, it's rare that I can sit down for like a solid hour to knock out my power hour. And so I would sometimes struggle with being present in my conversations, where I'd feel like I'd get a little lost. And when I really decided that I was going to respond to someone and tried to like read back on the conversation or refresh myself, or even I have a little notebook that I keep notes in, that I feel like really helped me be efficient as well, because I wasn't kind of just responding and then doing another thing. I would almost kind of try and stay present in that conversation. I know that's probably maybe not a way that it's going to work for everybody, but for me, that was just something that I found, like, once I focused in and really tried to stay present, as if I was like out to dinner with someone, I'm not like on my phone when I'm out to dinner, and I kind of was there, that I noticed a big change for me personally. And the other thing was never discount anyone. I've been really surprised by some of the people that have responded to me or said that they wanted to do things in a couple ways. I first remember being really intimidated about reaching out to people that were a different body type than me. I am not the fittest person, and I did not work out consistently before this process. And I remember thinking, like, what would I ever have to offer to somebody who's like posting about going to the gym all the time and doing all these things? But I was attracted to their page because I was inspired by it. And so I knew others would be inspired by it. And we had a lot in common. But when I, was talking to Danielle about it, and we were talking about how, like, you can't prevent someone from having this gift, and you should never assume that, they aren't struggling with their nutrition or they're in a certain place. And when I kind of let all of that go and really just first look for people I had in common with, and then realize that, no matter where someone is, this is a gift to give them, in the sense that everyone wants to be healthy. Everyone wants to spend more time in their lives with the people that they love. These are human essential needs. We're not like selling someone a Benz and like maybe they're a Jeep person. It's like, this is worth sharing with everyone. And so when I started just kind of putting that out of my mind, like, oh, well, they wouldn't want to get fit, or they wouldn't want to drink a shake, and just kind of put it out there, I was surprised by what it opened things up to. So that, that for me was another kind of big shift. And let's see, sorry. Time management. This has been probably, in addition to fitness and nutrition and personal development, one of the biggest gifts that Beachbody has given me, because I was that girl that could get away with waiting till the night before to write a paper, or, just not ever planning anything out and winging everything. I was the queen of winging everything before I started Beachbody. And so for me, really learning how to manage my time, and not just with the business, but also with my meal planning and with when I was going to do my workouts, was the biggest shift for me as well. And I think that this is just depends on you and your schedule. It's not something that anyone can tell you how to do. You have to, for me, it took just kind of sitting down and looking at my day and realistically saying to myself, like, how much time does something take me to do? And where can I do these things and fit those in? So when I get home, I used to twirl around my kitchen or watch TV for 20 minutes or pretend to put away my laundry. And, now I depending on how hungry I am, I either come home and I eat right away, or I come home and do my workout right away. And those things happen right after one another. And so just kind of having that in my mindset when I walk in the door, like, it's that when we talk about, like, I just have made that decision that that's what's going to happen, because that's how I have to get that in if I walk in the door at 7:30 and not want to be up till midnight. And looking at my day in terms of my business, I have a 2-hour commute. And so for me, it was like, how can I maximize my time in terms of that commute? Because that's just dead time that I am not doing anything with right now. So for me, that was personal development. That was YouTube videos. I totally just switched phone plans so that I could have unlimited data and watch all the YouTube videos I want on the way to work. And I'm not ashamed of it. I love every second of it. But, I just knew that for me, that was going to be a game changer. And another thing I did is I reached out for support with my timeline. If I couldn't do as much meal prep, like I would ask, like, hey, mom, let's meal prep together. Like, can you cook some dishes? And she's been a lifesaver for that with me. When Team Cup was happening and I was pushing hard, I would make York drive me to work. And I would sit and message in the car on the way to work because that was like time that I needed to push something out. So not only I think for me was it looking at my day and scheduling it, but also knowing when like I need help and who can I ask to support me in this and who can I genuinely explain to, like, this is really important to me and I need your help with this. Oh no, connection unstable. Can you still see me? Okay, all right. So that kind of leads me into like how I feel like I pushed to diamond when I finally made that decision that this was important. And it really was like sitting down and deciding like, I'm going to figure out how to do this no matter what, because this is important to me. And this is what I need to progress to hit my next goal in my business. And the first thing I did is I reached out to people that were important to me and I explained that. I genuinely explained that. And I said, like, there's no pressure here, but I would love for you to help me and be a part of this. And I did that with friends. I did that with family. I did that with siblings. Like, I did that with everyone that I would be comfortable enough to call up and have a conversation. And then I sat down and I looked at the list of people that I wasn't comfortable enough to do that with, and I messaged them anyway. My tactic was a little bit different in terms of either just kind of sparking up a conversation or maybe letting them know like, hey, I have this awesome group going on, kind of those things we talk about with inviting. But I just decided like, I'm going to divide this into 2 different groups and I'm going to approach this group one way and this group another way. And I've seen such amazing things when you kind of explain to people like, this helps me just as much as it helps you. I think when you kind of come down to their level a little bit, I don't know if that's the right way to say that, but it just kind of, I feel like shows that like you're in this together. Like when one of my first people, relatable, totally. One of the first people I got on the phone with that I got a yes from, like I remember like talking to her and I was saying like, I'm going to be just reminding and kind of explaining, like I'm in this group posting my workouts and my shakes every day too, because I don't think that's always obvious to people, that we're also doing the same things and in this every day in the group. Like they see us posting in that sense. But I think for me, when I first joined the challenge group, like that was great to see, like Danielle every morning getting up and knocking that out. And so telling people like, hey, I'm in this with you. Like, this is my goal. Like, I'm still working on this, that relatable factor, versus I know everything and I'm going to show you everything. I think it definitely makes you more relatable. And I think it makes a situation where people are just more comfortable to open up with you in terms of what they're struggling with. Because if they feel like you've got it all together and you're just knocking this all out of the park, they're not going to be like, yeah, I eat Cheetos every day for lunch. Like it's just not the conversation that's going to happen. So those were big things for me, I feel like, in terms of that progression. And phone has definitely been really helpful for me. But I think you have to find whatever way of communicating works well for you. So I am a very visual person. So I like the YouTube videos and listening to them. I'm not a great writer. So I struggle with like writing content in terms of my posts. I struggle with messaging. Back to back, you all are frozen. Does that mean I'm frozen? Okay. I can't see you guys, but hopefully you could still see me. And so when I kind of
She frozen for you guys? York, go get her. They need to just do one computer. power of live team calls, guys. Happens all the time. Don't worry, Jackie. She just went frozen. Sweet, making progress. See, guys, this is what team calls are all about. Getting stuff done.
Jackie, you're taking pictures of this while you're doing it for like cool, awesome posts later, right?
Yeah, she better be.
It's like post gold there.
DIY.
I don't know how to do that.
We're in the same house.
She's gonna use mine.
Perfect.
So sorry.
No, you're good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so I feel like when I found, I don't know where I froze for you guys, but hopefully it was somewhere around videos. When I found a way that I enjoyed to communicate with people, and the same kind of with my learning style that I enjoyed doing my personal development, or the way that I enjoyed learning, it just came more naturally to me. And that, I think, has been kind of a recurring thing. When I find a way to get the things done that are important to get done in a way that's a little bit more natural to me, I'm so much more likely to consistently do them. So for me, I prefer talking on the phone. So almost every conversation I go into, my goal is to get enough information about them to get them on the phone. So I'm not usually like, oh, let me sell them a challenge pack. It's like, how can I talk to this person so that they're comfortable enough that I can then get them to talk to me on the phone? So I've kind of lost my train of thought, but yeah, that for me was important. And then I guess just in terms of like the progression, you know, York is the only person on my account who is working the business consistently. Everyone else that I've signed up to get to this point is friends under him and under me. He signed up 2 of his family members to get to Emerald. My mom, her results at work, she recommended someone who now I'm friends with through work, and 2 people are signed up under her. And so no one other than me and York are working the business for me to have gotten to Diamond. And I think it just kind of, you know, I'm not at all encouraging that you like don't look for people that coach, but just saying that, like, you know, when you decide, there's lots of ways to do things. You know, I definitely am so excited to build my team, and I'm trying to work on my recruiting more. It's something that I struggle with, and I'm still, you know, trying to wrap my head around the best way to present it. But if there's an obstacle, there's probably also a different solution. So don't limit to yourself to like, well, I don't have like 5 people under me who all just want to go Emerald at the same time. You know, if there's a will, there's a way. And that's kind of the beauty of this business, I feel like, because you can run it however you want to run it. Yeah. Gosh, I think that was most of my notes. I feel like I talked really fast. Was that too short?
No, I think that was perfect, and everything that they needed to hear. You know, it's not like some magic sauce. I think the biggest thing I got from Shannon is, guys, she just made a decision in her head that there's no ifs, ands, or buts that this is happening, and it's happening this date. And she's still, you know, a little bit struggling through the 6 weeks of the qualification. It's always a hustle every week. I know Amy can relate to that right now. And even for me, guys, like, I still have to hustle every single month. And I it's almost like I don't want to scare you out of that, because, you know, you guys probably look at me and it's like, oh, you've been doing this for 2 years. You just like hit things like the drop of a hat. No, like I don't. Like on my top 25 call today, you're supposed to report how many people you helped throughout from Monday to Monday. And I reported 0 people for the first time ever since I started those calls. And it happens. And so I think what Shannon said, every obstacle is an opportunity. You can either take a step back, or you can just say, screw it. I'm going to figure out another way to push through the wall. And it's going to take a lot of personal development. It's going to take a lot of commitment. It's going to take help, asking for help, which I love that you shared that, because I really know that it has been a full family effort on your part. Guys, the way that Shannon hit Diamond, let me just like be honest about this, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind if I shared this.
No,
she signed up her sister, who doesn't really even live near her or with her, to get to Diamond. That was the last person she needed, because she had a challenger that was mutzing around and she didn't want to wait for another week of qualification. So she just said, I'm going to put skin in the game, put $140 down, pay my sister back, whatever, and sign her up with a challenge pack.
Yeah.
That's what leaders do.
For sure. And so what me and Danielle, that was our like stressful night. And I know Amy remembers it too. It was like the night that's burned into our memory. But, you know, I got yeses from 2 people, and one was like, I'm not getting paid till Friday. So I literally offered this girl, like, I will pay for your challenge pack and you can pay me back. And she was like, maybe, yes. And we were like waiting for her. And I was, all right, well, Megan's in the wings and we're going to put her in if she doesn't sign up. And finally at 11, the girl still hadn't signed up. And that was kind of our backup plan. But the other girl, I told her, I was like, listen, I'm pushing like for this in my business. This is really important for me. If you sign up tonight, like I will pay for your dinner when you come down to Charleston next weekend. Like, and you know, again, like I think Danielle talked about it in the video afterwards, like it's definitely not something you would want to do like every time, you know, like we're not in this business to pay for other
like
people.
a Hail Mary.
It's a Hail Mary. But yeah, but I think when you make that decision, you like your brain just like expands and you think about all these like ways like, okay, well, it used to be impossible, but now like it's not. It's just something no one else has done yet. That's what impossible is, you know? And when you decide like, okay, well, I'm just going to text her and tell her, like, I need you to do this before midnight. And, like, what is it going to take, you know? And it was terrifying. I'm not going to lie. I was like, I just freaked this girl out. I just offered to, like, loan her $140. We, like, don't even live in the same state. But she was so grateful. Like, even though she didn't sign up that night, like, our relationship is so strong right now because of that. Because she was like, I can tell you, like, just genuinely care about, you know, this process and all of that. So I think that when it comes from a place of honesty, you'd be surprised how well it can be received.
Something I wanted to just throw in there, because I know it's a tough month for Success Club guys. They mentioned this at my leadership retreat, and I've personally never done this, but if you got somebody that has a cost objection, tell them that if they will sign up by a certain date, you know, obviously you don't want to pressure somebody. You're presenting them an opportunity to commit to making a change, right? And so ethically, we don't want to force anybody to do something they don't want to do. But if you can tell that they really want to make a change and finances are just strapped, offer them to you give them your commission for them signing up. So you would send them a $40 check in the mail for signing up. And like I said, I know you guys all have financial goals in this business. We're not bashful about that, but I'm just throwing an idea out there because it is a tough month. And like I said, I've never personally done it, but it is a way that you can give back to your challengers. I think for Shannon, it planted the seed that she was genuine, that she didn't care about the money, that she really cared about the person making a change. And it's not something that I would say, go and do to all of your challengers. But if you really have connected with somebody, you know, for a long time, and you can just tell this is something that they want. I mean, I've shared, I think, with all of you guys, this month I had a girl commit that has literally bailed on me for 6 months straight. I'll send her the enrollment. She'll say I can't do it. I'll send her the enrollment. She'll bail. Like some excuse after some excuse. And I finally said to her, you're signing up tonight. Why? Because you tell me every single month you don't feel good about yourself. You need to make a change and what you're doing is not working. And so there's a 30-day money back guarantee. I'm going to pick a personal development book and we're going to read it together. And she's been doing it. Sometimes you just have to think outside the box of, I mean, it was a $10 book, guys. It wasn't like anything crazy. You can take 1/4 of the commission you make and give it back to that person. So just kind of think, especially this month and next month, how can I reach people? And yes, like offering the Fixate book is cool and stuff, but it needs to come from a story and it needs to come from the heart. And I think the way that Shannon's seen success is because she's given that opportunity for that story to flourish in one sitting. And getting on a call for an hour with somebody takes out the 30 to 60 days of messaging back and forth and people not checking Facebook and the frustration with all of that. She's just kind of said, let's get on the phone and talk about it person to person. People want connection. And you guys can tell, like, I mean, I can feel Shannon's genuine, just like love for this. That's what you guys just need to convey. You need to connect with the person that you're talking to on the other side of the screen outside of Facebook, you know, whether that's in person or on the phone or on a Zoom chat. You guys all have Zoom. You can get it for free. Ask them to get on and talk to them face to face. What questions do you guys have for Shannon that maybe you want to pick her brain on? I know you guys got something.
Shannon, you mentioned something about kind of having these two lists, a close people and another people. You called it something much nicer than another people list. But would you mind kind of talking about the way you went about those two different groups and kind of like what was different about that? Because that was actually really interesting to me. That you said you had these two very distinctive groups when you're trying to reach out, and it's very similar content, right? It seemed like, at least. Kind of what was your thought process behind that?
Yeah. So I think I just kind of thought of people who, like, when you do that game in high school and like everyone like has to stand up and you like jump and you like hope they catch you. I was like kind of trying to think mentally, like, who do I rely on in my life that I feel like catches me? Like, who do I support and feel like I have a close relationship with? And it doesn't always just have to be family. You know, I thought of like my really close friends from college, you know, some people that I really just stay in touch with and have that kind of strong relationship with. And I think for me, because it could even expand further out, but those were just the people I like when I was in that place of still kind of trying to be comfortable with sharing what not just my fitness goals were, but also like my professional goals in this sense, you know, like, hey, I'm working towards this and I'm not going to be bashful that like I want to make an income while making this impact. That was kind of that dividing line. Where the people where I still was just kind of still reaching out to and inviting, but maybe not going quite as in depth about like what my goals were, not leading with the business. Like I still shared with like those two girls that I signed up at the end, like, hey, this is a big milestone for me in my business if you were to do this tonight. But I didn't lead with that in that second group of people when I kind of reached out to them. I think I still made that mostly about them and their goals and shared like my personal journey, but I kind of led with, hey, this is helping me in my goal with that first group of people that was that close-knit family, friends group. Does that make sense?
I think also it's helped you be more confident with talking about what you're doing because you did talk to your family members. I share this with you guys. Like I talk to my grandma like every other day and I tell her what's going on in our team and I share with her the excitement, you know, when we have rankings or, you know, I have a big paycheck or you guys rank advance or there's just something exciting going on. Practice talking about that excitement with your family, because it will help you be more confident in talking to people that you don't know as well about what you're doing. I think especially for you guys, a lot of you are in this zone where you're very good at sharing your health and fitness journey. You're very good at sharing, you know, meal preps and recipes and fitness. But we all as a team need to get better about sharing the coaching opportunity in ways that are not like, here's my form, sign up, you know, and talking about, okay, I spend my Monday nights connecting with women all over the country that I didn't know before this. Or I'm going to the Super Saturday event next weekend, which by the way, that was something else I did not announce at the beginning of this call. All of you should be going to a Super Saturday. Like that should be a non-negotiable. And if you haven't found it, go search on the team page. I posted the link this morning. We need it right now because I know a lot of you are feeling down. You guys need that motivation. You need that connection. You need that just inspiration to finish the year strong. But I think just speaking from my own experience, I have been in your shoes. I've been there when literally every single one of my coaches fell off or they all said they wanted to do coach things and they didn't. Most of them aren't here anymore. And so the thing that I had to learn the hard way is don't believe it until you see it. And that's a little bit harsh, but you guys have to remember that this is a business. And so you can't pour time into people that aren't wanting this as much as you in the actions that they take. You know, are they sharing their journey publicly? Are they posting the team page? Are they engaging in team calls? Things like that. And I'm sure you're like, well, how do I even find those coaches from the first place? you share more about how coaching's changing your life. And it can be about your health and fitness. It can be, hey, for Shannon, I haven't really heard her talk about being so consistent when she gets home after work. So that's something that she needs to share more of. And I'm calling her out. But, you know, coaching changed her life in being accountable to somebody. That's just a small little story. You guys have to pull these little stories out and share them over and over and over again. I heard on a call this week that, you know, you guys will share coming out posts and you're like, oh my God, I shared my story. Well, your story is not just one post, guys. Your story is millions of posts shared over and over and over and over again. And you guys probably have seen like kind of similar duplicate stories that I've shared, but it takes like 7 to 9 times for somebody to see your story to connect with it. And remember, Facebook only shows your post to 5 to 10% of your friends. So you need, even if it's boring to you, you need to keep sharing it because it might connect with somebody that day. And so what I'm telling you is that if you haven't found coaches yet that want this as bad as you need to step out of your comfort zone and be more bold with what we're doing here. Because you guys are a part of something incredible. I don't have a coach right now. I don't have team calls I can go to. I don't have somebody I can call up and be frustrated with besides Noelle. I hope you guys know that. And it's tough sometimes. I don't have somebody that recognizes me each week. I don't have somebody that sends me gifts in the mail. I don't have anybody that puts a Success Club board up for me. Nothing. Zero. So I just wanted to throw that out there because those are the things you need to share. And I try to celebrate you guys as much as possible because I don't get that. And I don't want you to ever feel that way because I am so thankful for you guys. And I am so proud of the things that you're doing. Not to steal your thunder, Shannon, but I just want to throw it out there because you guys will find them. You just have to stay the course. You have to stay consistent and you have to just keep throwing your heart out there.
I think a big lesson I got to learn early on too is, I mean, the person that's canceled on me so far was my first coach that I ever signed up and said they wanted to coach. And I think it was a good lesson for me in the sense of like, no matter how much you want it, people have to want it for themselves. So you have to focus on what you can control, you know, and that was a hard shift in a conversation I had to have with Danielle. You know, I can't spend my energy wanting this for someone else versus taking on the actions that I can control in my own business.
Believe me, I want it bad for all of you right now. But you have to find that deep, like, driving why again. And maybe I actually wanted to share a couple questions if you guys don't have any questions for Shannon, for you guys to just think about. I forgot, I wrote this down earlier. So it's about the golden opportunity, and I just wanted you guys to kind of reflect on this. Maybe it's a good way to kind of close it off. So I wanted you to kind of self-evaluate, all right? You guys with me? Do you actively participate like you want your coaches to or your future coaches to? Do you hit Success Club each month? Do you keep your commitments? Do you actively engage in challenge groups and the team page? Do you stay committed to your workouts? Do you encourage others to step up and lead without being asked? Or do you step up and lead without being asked? Do you actively look for ways to add value to our team? Amazing leaders are people that always look to add value. They lead without being asked. So something I wanted to throw out there is I wanted you guys to go to your coach online office, and maybe it's not the second, but I wanted you to log in, and I wanted you to look at how many coaches are in your downline right now. Those people would not be here without you. And I don't want you guys to ever take that for granted. Even if they're not your personally sponsored people, it doesn't matter because you are part of the tribe and you are part of the team. And I just wanted you guys to think about that, you know, as you build your teams, people are only going to do about half what you do. And so you need to ask yourself, if what my coaches or my future coaches did, what I did today, would they be successful? And I ask myself that every single day. So when you guys, my diamond group knows I throw up crazy numbers sometimes, but then there's other days that I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything. But it's because I'm going to set that standard up here for us, because I know you guys are hustlers like me. I know you want more out of life like me. And I know that without massive action, we can't see massive results, right? Sometimes that's hard. Some days, like today, I can feel it. It's hard. But I want to ask you to reconnect to this team. Get excited about something again. Get out and share something scary and bold again. But keep things simple for yourself. Make it about connecting to people like Shannon's talking about. And keep your vision in line. And share, if you haven't shared your vision of where you want to go with this business in some fashion, you need to share that publicly. And then you need to share the link for the coaching opportunity in the comments and say, I am looking for women who X, Y, and Z. Women who work 70 hours a week. Women who aren't fulfilled in their current job. Women who forget how they drove home today. Women who don't spend enough time with their husband or spouse. I know it's all of your stories, women who are dealing with a lot of crap and negativity from other people. That's what you guys need to share. Emotions and stories is how you connect with people. Facts tell, stories sell. We're not salespeople, but are you telling a story every time you put up a post, or are you just putting a picture of your dog? Just saying. I love those pups. Tell those stories. What else you guys got for Shannon? Is this inspiring? Is this like putting a shift? Yeah? Jackie's giving me the thumbs up. Anybody else? Amanda, Amy, how you guys feeling?
Awesome.
Well, I don't want to take any more of your time, but I just want you to know there is still 2 weeks left in this month, which is plenty of time. But I threw the challenge out at the beginning of the call if you weren't on. My corporate sponsor, Top 25 Update was the challenge. If you help 4 people between this Monday and next Monday, there's a lot of tools you have at your hands to do so. I'll go over them in a second. You will get a Beachbody shirt of your choice from my corporate mentor, Robbie. So 4 people, next 7 days, help them with the challenge pack, get them started right, get them committed to their goals. Something that you guys can use is the 3-day refresh, because we're doing a Halloween detox starting November 5th. So that's on the horizon. And obviously, Quarter Force challenge packs come out October 31st. If you don't know about that yet, you've been living under a rock. But it comes out October 31st. So, guys, things that I've been doing. Okay, let's talk about this launch. Has anybody not shared about Quarter Force on their page yet? I think a couple of you have. Or who has? Raise your hand.
Only once.
Okay, so we need to change that. At least 3 or 4 times a week, you need to share about this. This is how I do it. I love fitness, so that's something I connect to. Maybe it's something else for you. But if there's a Core to Force page on Facebook, all you type in is Core to Force, and it's the official Beachbody one. I just go on there and look at the videos and learn the move that they do, and then make a video of each morning. And I'm going to do that every morning from here on out. If you want to take that idea and do it, go for it. And then talk about the program. Get in your online office under sales and marketing and product toolkits. There's a Core to Force information little PDF, and it breaks down everything about the program you need to know. What does it come with? What is the nutrition base? What is the workouts like? All those kind of things. Now's the time to get knowledgeable about it, because you guys want to have a list October 31st, as soon as those challenge packs come out, that you skyrocket through, or that your customers are dying to get November 1st. Because I've shared this with you guys before, but pushing to elite at the end of the year, the one category we're short in still is advanced team volume. How do we change that? Get a crap ton of people doing the 3-day refresh after Halloween, and we're going to do another one after Thanksgiving, and get a crap ton of people on Core to Force. Share the crap out of it. Sorry, excuse my language, but seriously, people need exciting things. If you guys need it, other people need it. So go ahead, Shannon.
Sorry, question, because this is my first like official launch.
Yeah.
When we say the 31st, that's the first time they can purchase on the enrollment form. That's the first time that's the day we can send the enrollment form out and it ships. And so they would get it 5 days later.
Yeah, so only challenge packs with Core to Force will launch October 31st.
Okay.
The official program launch, like it'll be available to unlock on Beachbody On Demand. So any of your challengers that have On Demand still, that's really the cheapest way to get it, to be honest. But if they are not a current customer or anything, like obviously challenge packs the first dibs to get on it. November 1st is the official launch where they can get it on Beachbody On Demand, or your current discount coaches can go on and buy it at a discount, of course, November 1st. Okay. So our test group will be that third Monday of November. We'll kick off. So they have time to get their shipments and everything like that. But October 31st is a kind of little extra, little sweet save from Carl that you guys can say, hey, I know all that Halloween candy you're eating. Time to get that core back in check.
Yeah. Awesome.
What other ideas do you guys have for the launch that you've been thinking about? Are you guys excited about this? I hope you are.
I'm like super pumped. I can't wait, like at all. It's Christmas time. If you can't tell, I'm really excited. I do have one thing to ask, and I don't normally ask this of the group, but here's my question for all you guys, ladies, and York. On
still here.
Forgot he's there.
In the kind of like group team-ish page that we have going on, it's been really, really quiet. And sometimes I feel like if we all kind of hype it up a little bit more, it gives more courage to other people to kind of chime in and like post stuff and ask questions. And I know that's the way I was in the first couple groups that I was ever in last year. Like I was so nervous, like, oh my God, am I actually allowed to post? What's the deal here? So I know like this can really be a great way for us to kind of share and connect and really just put it out there. And even hype yourself up if like you are on the verge, you're like, I'm not too sure if I like it or not. So I'm just kind of asking everyone if we can kind of plug into that group. I know it's one of the things that really helps me out personally. So if there's anyone out there like me, let's share with them what it is that we do and kind of make them feel a little bit more comfortable. Because I know there's a lot of people out there in the group that are kind of just sitting there watching. And I think we can use them all as these potential challengers to say, hey, like, this is us. This is our chance to kind of like promote ourselves as a team and kind of unify together. So that's my shameless plug. And again, my iTunes just starts playing in the background. I'm sorry.
We can't hear it.
Okay.
I think Lauren's talking about in the team page and in our wellness community.
Yeah.
It's been very quiet. And that's why I kind of asked you guys that question. Like, are you leading the way? And the reason why I throw up big power hour numbers is because I'm not going to let any one of you beat me. And I challenge you to do it. I challenge you to help more people next week and get a better t-shirt than me next week. But no, really, I appreciate that, Lauren. And I appreciate your girl boss video today because it reminded me, and I just love you for that. But okay, guys, so Team Spirit's coming up, and that's the thing to hype you guys up. But don't wait until November to get excited. Like, there's still 2 weeks in October to rock out all of your goals, okay? So don't wait till quarter four. Don't wait till the Halloween detox. Get people on the job now, all right? I'm going to post those Team Spirit slides. And for those of you that said yes, can you make sure that you comment on the post your coach ID number and your email, and then make sure to tag any of your coaches as well so I can just easily copy paste for that. All right, guys? Let's build the hype. Let's get the excitement back. Get on the upward movement. I can feel it. All right? Go kick some glow butt.
Yay.
I'll talk to you guys later, and thank you, Shannon, for sharing.
Thank you.
See you guys.